Hello everyone, it's Ashwin Rao, and in today's video I'm bringing you a pair of shoes from what I would consider the intersection of the dress world and the casual world. The rugged and the refined, the heritage and the classic, call it what you may, but this is a pair in a beautiful hatch green leather from the J.F.&J Baker Tannery out of the UK, made by a bespoke footwear manufacturer based in Korea. This is Shoemaker Tei, spelled T-E-I. As you might notice, this is a pair that's already formed some rolls, so you would think this is a used pair, and you would be right. This is a pair that is surrounded by the shoe care products that I largely used to get these shoes ready for this review and for time on my feet. This is a really cool pair, folks. This is a derby, obviously, plain toe derby, as you can see, meaning no cap on the toe. You see an open channel lacing system, meaning that the lacing system is not attached directly to the vamp, but has separate pieces here, made up of 4 eyelets, as we can see here. And what's really unique about this pair is that it has a seamless heel. No seam down the back. That's typical of most plain toe derbies. That's a style and a skill, kind of an unlocked skill that some shoemakers are capable of doing and most others are simply not. This is a shoe that brings a lot of bespoke features to the table, and I was able to acquire this on the used market from a good friend who is also an enthusiast of both derbies and classic menswear, as well as coming from a background of being a strong Flame Panda and heritage footwear enthusiast, and that's the derby scientist, previously known as the boot scientist, I believe, on Instagram, based out of Thailand. He had explored the heritage footwear scene and rapidly became aware that, well, gosh, there is a higher standard out there when it comes to footwear at the bespoke level when featured and done by a bespoke classic footwear manufacturer. So this is a hand-sewn, hand-lasted piece of footwear, basically made by hand with a machine-stitched upper, very fine detailing, and some really nice features such as this fiddleback waist, this crosshatch pattern on the forefoot, a Lulu-style toe plate that you can see right there, a rubber back heel, a block heel here. That is something that you see more in the heritage footwear segment, not the typical tapered heel. And yet this block heel has a pretty dramatic offset notch from the waist here, which is a blinded waist, meaning that the stitching here on the outsole is drawn in and then hidden underneath the leather upper here. It's essentially a blind stitch, which is another advanced feature done to showcase shoemaker's skill, not a skill maker's skill. You can see a closed channel lacing system, meaning that the outsole stitching and the stitching on below is not seen. It's actually folded over, stitched down, and then folded back. And we see a leather heel stack, pretty even, nice, high gloss finished leather heel stack with a very fine fudge pattern done here. That's a fudge wheel done to create that line along the top of the heel block. That heel block is drawn very closely in to the upper here to form a nice, clean, yet more rugged distinction in terms of the way that this shoe kind of looks. This is a hand-lasted pair of footwear, and one of the ways you can tell a skill and craftsmanship level of the footwear manufacturer is how that lasting is done on something like a seamless heel. And you can see there doesn't appear to be any obvious stretch or strain marks here. This is all very nicely lasted, symmetrically and cleanly done. And even the leather, the way it was laid down to create this crosshatch pattern, how the shoe has been rolling with the previous owner's wear, has really speaks to the high quality of this constructmanship. And so So blind waist, as you can see, with a slight curve to the heel block and a nice dramatic angle there. The waist here is a little bit raised compared to some other models from, say, Acme, where you see more of a scallop out here, but that's to create a footbed that is supportive of the foot once it's in the shoe, so something that can be done with variable levels of execution. This is a very nice shoe. It has vibes of an English shoe last with this kind of elongated, almond-shaped last. Reminds me of my pair very much so from RAB Bespoke that also was in a black hatch grain that I'll show here. And that is a really nice demonstration of how do you execute a plain toe Blucher or Derby with a seamless heel. This has also been done by brands such as Acme Shoemaker and a few others. I believe Hiro Yanagamachi also has a take on that. That might have been one of the OG takes, if I'm not mistaken, although in the shoe wear world, original designs are truly hard to come by. Most people copy others or copy designs and reinterpret of their own accord. But I wanted to show those of you who are interested in heritage footwear, as well as those of you who might be interested in the dresswear segment, what the intersection of a pair of shoes that has both bespoke levels of fit and finish, such as the offset heel block, dramatic offset here. You see how the curve of the side paneling goes right to the tip of that heel block. You see the elegance of this blinded waist, yet the waist is a little bit wider, yet it's a blind waist. So a wider waist would suggest a little more rugged look. A blinded waist would suggest a more elevated look. A fine level of fudge detailing would suggest a more fine, elevated look, and yet a block heel tends to be present on more casual or rugged styles. So there's a nice mashup going on here of a style that then just sort of comes together both elegantly, but it's a pair that you could probably pull off with a pair of chinos, relaxed tapered fit. Probably not the best option for a wide type of pair of denim, but this is a shoe that can do a lot of things for a lot of people in a lot of circumstances. You could dress it up and give a lecture in this, or you can wear it out to a night out on town. We're seeing more and more makers who are understanding that there is a strong interest in that intersectionality between the heritage style and the classic style. And footwear such as this are the outcome of tremendous amounts of skill, quality, and craftsmanship, coupled with a desire to elevate the casual look in the workplace. We got to a point where we've been very casual with sneakers and whatnot in the workplace. I can see this type of shoe, along with more casual and rugged types of footwear, becoming of increasing interest and maybe importance in style as we move forward in the next decade. I took care of these shoes using Pure Polish products, including their high shine wax polish to give this a nice little bit of shine, their plum colored wax polish, and then obviously their cleaner and conditioner, and their weather resistant polish, which actually essentially waterproofs this shoe. Houndstooth pattern to the cloth here, and just a really nice pair of shoes in this really rich J.F.&J. Baker's Russian reindeer hatch grain leather that has become quite popular both in the dress and the heritage worlds. So Shoemaker Tei, my friends, give them a look. That's Shoemaker Tei on Instagram, should you desire to reach out. This is a pair of shoes that would have cost around $1,000 new. I got it obviously at a much more discounted price on the used market. Thanks to the Derby scientists. Appreciate the great deal. Hope you're all doing well. Give these guys a look. Beautiful almond last, slight elongation to dress it up a little, yet some of those rugged features that we talked about that you can't get away from, nor would you want to. Hope you're all doing well. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.